when I first saw it. First of all, the year 2007 is the tipping point of the Arctic sea ice. So let me just show you a couple of, I haven't got that page on. Oh, here it is. The Arctic sea ice has been melting at tremendous speed between 2005 and 2007. 2007 was certainly the tipping point of Arctic sea ice melt. And that is indicative. Well, scientists are so alarmed in 2007 that in 2005 they were predicting that the Arctic sea ice would be 50% ice-free in the summers by the year 2060. 50% by 2060. After 2007, which is here, scientists hurriedly revamped that prediction to say that the Arctic would be completely ice-free 100% by the year 2014. Instead of 50% in 2060, now it's 100% ice-free in 2014. Now, what kind of impact that would have on the harp seals, I don't know, because the harp seals need sea ice to give birth to pups. Without sea ice, the harp seals cannot possibly support the babies, so we don't know about the future of the harp seals, as well as the polar bears. I think both are pretty well, I dread to say, doomed. Now, what I'm going to show you is this. Oh, first of all, let me show you this. The IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, came up with 5 predictions as to the rate of the Arctic sea ice melt. This one is supposed to be the best case scenario. That means if we stop burning fossil fuels right now, this is how fast the Arctic sea ice would be melting, because there was a time lag between the time the gas is released and the time the temperature reaches the predicted level. And so even if we stop burning fossil fuels, the Arctic sea ice will still keep on melting, but it would melt fairly slowly. Whereas this is the worst case scenario, which is called business as usual, and that is the trajectory that we are following today. We are doing business as usual, worst case scenario. Now, this is the year 2007, and this is the curveball that Mother Nature threw at us. All of a sudden, in 2007, the sea ice melt rate the gradient was 3 times as steep as the one predicted by the IPCC worst case scenario. In the very same year when these predictions came out. So if these predictions were supposed to last until the year 2100, and in that very same year, Mother Nature trounced our own predictions, what does it tell us? What would these predictions mean in another 90 years' time? So this is the tipping point of the Arctic sea ice. I believe that it is a one-way journey now. There is not going to be any Arctic sea ice within this century, even in the winter. Now, I'm going to talk to you about this most scary thing, and that is the permafrost melting. The permafrost occurs around the ring surrounding the Arctic Circle in northern Canada, in Alaska, in northern Europe, and in Siberia. And the permafrost contains an immense amount of methane, and methane, in my opinion, is the most dangerous substance on Earth, bar none. Even if we set off all the nuclear weapons simultaneously all over the world, that would not do as much damage as methane would. Why? Because first of all, methane is a much more powerful greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide when first released. It is 75 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. It is shorter lived than carbon dioxide, so given time it will decline. But if the methane is released from the thawing permafrost, then sooner or later it is going to overwhelm the atmosphere and then eventually the hydrosphere. Now let me just show you 1 or 2 photos, and you cannot doubt that the permafrost is melting. This is called drunken forest because the permafrost underlying the forest has melted off, and so all the trees are topsy-turvy. They're not dead, but they've fallen over all over the place. And this is in both northern Canada as well as Siberia. And here is all these houses built on overburden, overlying permafrost. When the permafrost melts off, all these houses tumble down. And this is absolutely undeniable evidence that methane is being released in a big way into the atmosphere. And it is driven by only about